You need a rubber mallet. Happy day, everyone. Big day today. We got to move the cow shed with the tractor. Pork Rhyne is here as our guest. We're going to do a podcast with him. And we have our annual staff dinner over in the barn. I don't even know if you guys can see me. We're getting an early start. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Japanese hibachi style grill. I can get started with this mallet. Much better kindling. Our gas heat is not yet hooked up. What are we waiting for on that?
We have to do the root cellar first.
The root cellar has to get done first. It's too warm in the day to do the wood boiler, which is what we heat our house on, outdoor wood furnace. That leaves the old trusty wood stove, but it's cast iron. You can't just crank it up. You gotta do break-in fires. Just a little kindling fire at first, that's enough. You guys get it going, get it in there.
Should I save this little piece of paper for later?
Lighten it in several places. Light one to the right.
This one?
Yep. There you go. Good deal. Tomorrow, a bigger fire after that, and then full on. All you want, all day if you need it. Trick is, guys, though, not do too much because it gets hot during the day. This is a tricky time of the year. How'd your yogurt really turn out?
It turned out so good, look. Like it's thick.
If you run the blender on that,
I know.
the immersion blender, it'll be smooth too.
I know, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for thickness because raw milk yogurt is very thin. And people add like potato starch or gelatin or all these things to it. But I want just yogurt. Like I don't need all these extra additives. And although potato starch is interesting because it's also a prebiotic. So it's probiotic and a prebiotic. So I don't know, I might fool around with that, but that's like really good homemade yogurt. I know some people might be like, ew, that's gross, but to us, it's amazing.
2 reservoirs for 2 cows in milk. And 3 buckets. Maybe we have the 4th one ready. It just ends up being a lot to carry.
Yeah, it is a lot to carry.
Hey, are y'all gonna be ready soon? Cause I'm gonna have to go. Just got less than 2 hours. Oh shoot, I just realized we didn't turn the chicken nest boxes around. Remember we turned them the wrong way? I mean, I guess it's only been light for just a little bit. I should have done that when I was out here this morning. I don't want them to start laying in the coop. You busy bees. Oh gosh. They figured me out and they somehow got in there anyway and pooped. Yeah. I'm slacking, guys. I'm sorry. There's eggs all over the place. Yeah. I forced them to lay in the floor. Now, why did they still poop in that? How'd they get in that? This coop is taller, so they can easily jump on top of it. So that was useless. We're gonna have to put a cover over it. Maybe we can get to these other guys and hopefully they can't jump over the nest because the roof is much, much smaller. Alrighty, we have one out. I'm gonna get to that one of these days. See, they're finding anywhere to lay. Okay. Wow. Wow, either looks like Gideon didn't get this spot yesterday. No way they laid that many this morning. That might be this morning. If those were turned sideways, I'm not sure they could get in there. And they were, so, alright. Look at their till job. And they did leave the potatoes. I didn't think they would eat potato greens, and they haven't. This is perfect. This means chickens could work in a potato garden. They're getting all the weeds, but the potatoes. Isn't that cool? It's a very tricky, one of our most tricky moves on the farm. Now we're gonna break out the big guns. This will certainly be less problematic. Look at this. Randolph got all our bedding out. Oh, yards and yards and yards of compost just got put on our pastures. Oh, he's starting to fill it up. Starting to bring back in wood chips. We'll be bringing the animals in here in no time, like January-ish. This view though, wow. I am not liking the looks of this. I'm probably gonna have to get on this hill at an angle. I do want to show you guys a phenomenon. Okay, do you see that? Do you see that white stuff? Our first possible frost date is supposed to be October 10th. Well, we need to change that to September 29th. We can have frost. That's frost.
Yeah.
I forgot. The whole point of us struggling with this shed up this side, we don't need it here. They have shade, they have rubs. We haven't been great about the minerals lately, so they need their minerals. That's why we're messing with this shed. So I need to get to that. Even the cows are eating some of this multiflora rose. They ate this, whatever the heck that was. And a lot of what they don't eat, they break. I don't need no stinking devil eyes to clear bramble. Cows will do a lot of it. Sheep will get all the rest of it. They'll even eat some of this iron. Let's go. Come on, let's go. No, not Flossie. Flossie, why are you getting out of rhythm here? What are you doing? Go on. Good job, Gideon. Look what he's going for. The smooth, tender grasses. That is what they go for first. That's why we let the cows go in first. They need more choice edibles. The sheep don't. The sheep don't need that. Sharpie gets worn out. It's hard to sketch in there. We have not figured out a good way to mark our minerals.
Yeah.
What?
Look.
Yeah, what about it?
See?
That's K. We don't have K up here. I was pretty stiff getting up there. It's amazing. You know, 3 days of fasting. I'm feeling great, not as stiff. I eat clean. I ate short ribs and chicken broth. How much time do we got to move this shed? 30 minutes. 30 minutes, and that's leaving no margin. My biggest concern is the grade of this slope. I don't want to flip. It mellows out right there. When you milk, you get to think about a lot. And remember, you want to enjoy your chore process. It's not enjoyable trying to find all those minerals. It makes minerals a terror. I thought the least we can do is make a laminate map, a laminated map that's out here. We can at least put notes in our phones, you know? Maybe counterclockwise from the corner post. It's this, this, and this, but you'd have to reference that too much. You can't paint this because they rub it off. We've tried Sharpies, we've tried even digging in. You can barely see that. Kelp. We tried sketching it in. I'm thinking, what if we hang tags? What if we hang tags on the bottom? We could get a big brander, but I think it's going to be cost prohibitive. I think they're very expensive. Could we get metal letters that screw in? Maybe they're made for houses or mailboxes or something. I could maybe, you know, pull it out and then back into there. And then we could come through here above these trees. Not really positioned with the fencing line to go above these trees. Could I bring it back in here? I'm afraid to go sideways right there. Enough thinking, let's start doing. I just thought of something. Okay, we don't have to move this shed. It's too much up in here. We'll go get the mineral sled. We have a mineral sled that Sally could pull. We won't even need the tractor. And it's such a pleasure just to milk the cows out by the side under beside the trees. Although hurricane rains are coming. We have rain gear, but I might need to think through that one. How many days is it going to be raining? Like 3?
4, 3, 4.
3, 4? Yeah.
I think you need the shed.
I think we need the shed. Before I go to this podcast, you find anything out about the
Yes.
break-in fires?
Some people say on the internets that you don't need to do break-in fires once it's been broken in officially.
That's
Now,
probably like the cast iron skillet.
Yodel, which is
Yeah, what do they say? Our brand.
they say to do it at the beginning of the season, but
Okay.
a lot of people say they don't. And they
Well, if you just start another fire tonight, you only have one more break-in fire and they get bigger.
I don't want to start. I want to start a fire right now. I'm cold.
Look at you guys. Good. Good boys and girls. All right. Let's go have an amazing conversation with Pork Rhyne, a pork specialist, pig specialist, which has traveled the world, has 20 speaking engagements this year, single guy, did not grow up farming, homesteading, nothing like it. Parents thought he was nuts at first, and has struggled with depression. I really want to dig into that, into mental health. That's something that we haven't touched on a lot anywhere on our platforms, but I think it affects a lot of people. So definitely want to dig into that for this Abundance Plus podcast. Matt,
Good morning.
how you doing, my man?
Very well. How are you?
Good. Sound guy, Matt. What are you listening to?
I don't know who am I listening to.
Truth or Dare?
I'm listening to "Pray for Me" by Lord's Child.
What is that?
It's a musical group,
Oh.
Christian musical group, and they got a lot of like lo-fi rap music. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And what's this? What's this cool looking journal?
This
a journal?
Is,
Or is that a Bible?
That's a journal. This is the 15th installment of my life,
Yeah?
written on paper. So I got 15 journals. This is number 15, and that's in 4 years.
Dang. So when's the book coming out?
You know what? I've been thinking about that.
Yeah, why not?
I've been thinking about that. So that might be a 2023 goal.
Yeah. That's what Matthew McConaughey's book was. Green Lights?
Yeah, green light.
These
Yeah.
journals. Did you sleep good in this haunted house?
Yeah. At
Were you
first,
freaked out?
No, surprisingly no.
Okay, good.
I even kept the door open, so that's how comfortable I was.
Yeah, okay, good.
Otherwise, if I wasn't uncomfortable, I'd keep the door
That's
shut.
good. This house is probably 100 years old.
Oh wow.
Look at my relatives. Yeah. Spooked out.
The eyes follow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Used to be rented out on Airbnb, and we got some complaints
Oh.
about the spooky. I should have put maybe a story below it or something. Give it some context.
They should be so lucky to
Yeah.
spend time with that photograph.
Well, this is great grandfather
Wow.
working at an orphanage in Black Mountain.
Wow. Who's the
Look at him. He's probably got American Milk and Devon right there.
who's the kid in that photo? I was trying to figure that
That
one out.
is, I have it on my phone. This is my dad's brother, I believe, at this house. Yeah, that's how old my dad was when he died. He was 86. So he was one of those older parents for sure. I'm 40, I was 42 when he died. So he was 44 when he had me. He was 52 when he had my youngest sister. He was a stud muffin. Okay, Pork Rhyne, if you get nervous during the podcast, you can just hug that.
What in the world? What kind of narcissism
Yeah,
is that?
I know. Ask Rebecca. Ask Rebecca. She's the one who did that.
She made this.
Yeah. And that's
I'm gonna have nightmares
she
about
thought it would be.
this.
You didn't know that was in here. That was hidden.
Yo, that's
You better not stay
crazy.
another night, because now it's really creepy. Hey, Pork Rhyne, you're looking good over there, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
What about those pork rinds last night?
Excellent.
I'll never forget that. Well, we just recorded it, and you went there, my man. You went there. All over the place. Do you feel sick now? Being so
No.
vulnerable?
No. not
Brene
really.
Brown says if you don't feel sick, you haven't been vulnerable enough.
I've been sick all my life, and so, when I'm vulnerable, I feel more free.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you get out of it, Matt? What'd you get out of it?
I've learned to bite my tongue because I want to talk talk to you guys too.
Yeah, yeah.
I relate to
That's
everything.
fine. You should chime in. That'd be
Yeah.
all right.
I relate to it. It's if you're trying to better yourself, you're gonna come through.
Yeah.
These dilemmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, we might be doing something exciting here. We might be digging this root cellar right now. We found the water line.
Yeah.
Do you know how to turn it off? Oh yeah, he went to go do it. Did you figure out how to turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to kill the well pump.
Who knew the water line was over here?
So it looks like it runs right here.
Okay.
There was water coming out right behind you too. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably one under reserve.
Yeah, look. Something's coming out here too.
Yeah, it's just where it's coming up out of the.
Yeah, okay.
I am making lunch, and we had short ribs last night that we braised, and so I kept the leftover drippings from it, and we had a little bit of meat which I cut up in here. But I follow Three Rivers Homestead on Instagram, and this is something that she often does with her leftovers. And so last night when I was laying in bed, like, what are we gonna have for lunch tomorrow? She had recommended buying these mixed vegetables at Azure Standard, so I picked up a small box so that I could try this. And so I am making basically like a stew or a soup with mixed vegetables. I have in here potatoes and onions. I put butter and tallow in there, and so those are kind of cooking, and then I'll add the mixed vegetables, and I will add the meat and the drippings, and we're gonna see how it turns out. I did have Lily mix up. Hey hun, how you doing? Stop. Stop it.
You know we're out of water.
I know. They
Okay.
hit a water
Yeah, they
line.
hit the water line.
Okay, is that what you're here for?
No, I'm
Okay.
done.
Okay. So, what was I
I'm
saying?
gonna
What
eat.
was I saying? I was saying something and he interrupted me so rudely. Oh, I had Lily make biscuits. So we're gonna get those in the oven. I am super pleasantly surprised with this. So I'm gonna turn it up and let it kind of all cook together.
Gideon, you want to go help move the sled? Okay. I am going to keep that optional because I'm in a mega hurry. So we keep the mandatory helping. We limit it. We limit it. See that? Pork Rhyne said, I'm missing a shoe. Well, there it is. Where are your shoes, Pork Rhyne? So maybe Gideon's not always losing his shoes. Maybe Winnie is hauling them off.
Where'd you find that?
Down there in our parking lot, behind one of the cars.
Man, I
All
appreciate
right,
that.
you got choices.
What's up?
Chill out with Rebecca. Of course, you can stay over here. She's cooking lunch. It'll be ready at 12:30. I'm going to move the cow sled
Yeah, I'll help you.
and the sheep. All right, let's go. I've looped around. Now we can easily back it in tomorrow's paddock, through tomorrow's paddock into today's. Now I'm picking up the fence and he's closing tomorrow's paddock off, so if they go into it, they won't leave. We'll just have to herd them back in because he's probably gonna have to move. I want you to meet some of the staff here. There would be no Justin Rhodes like you see him today without Heather. My goodness. And when your assistant gets an assistant,
She's no longer.
I think how many assistants do you have? Kim, Sherry, you become the COO.
You're the
So-
operating officer.
Chief Operating Officer, Heather. What's your background?
Finance.
That's
so.
right. You started out with me in bookkeeper. You
I-
gave
I
us
mean, I technically
mercy
am still-
because we were in a bad way.
Yeah.
What was it? Ridiculous. This was in 2016. It was like $8 an hour or something.
Well,
I actually did tell you I would do it for free.
Oh, okay. We're like, okay, we gotta give
And
you
then-
minimum wage.
And then you moved
Okay.
up really fast.
we did.
Okay.
We were like, well, I think once we
Yeah,
like
we
actually
bumped
made
her
money,
up.
we're like, we can't have anyone working
No.
for us for $8 an hour.
Business doing good. Bumped her up. Naomi, what do you do besides count how many times we get Gavoda in the video?
Do all the shipping of the books and database maintenance.
Taxes.
Oh, and the monthly
Sales
taxes.
taxes.
Oh, yay.
So all the behind the scenes computer
See?
stuff. Yeah.
So what if I had to do that? You would have less videos.
True.
So, because that's not very interesting.
It's
Is
very
it for like
unglamorous.
content?
But I can fill it in when I need to.
Yeah. All right, good. Thank you guys.